Hello, what are you reading?
Hi, it's the Holy Quran.
But isn't the Quran only for Muslims?
Not at all. Its teachings are addressed to all humanity, from heads of state to everyday people like us.
What does it teach us?
It's a book of life for life. No thinking person should pass through life without it.
Where can I get a copy?
From the IPCI, 124 Queen Street, Durban.
عليكم السلام.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وبعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تبارك وتعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I will not take your time. I know that you are eager to listen to our elder brother. I say to him, elder brother, though I may with the same age of him, but he is our elder brother anyhow. You know that he is here tonight to lecture us about the Islamic propagation of the Dawah of Islam in Regent. When I heard that, I was offended that he is coming from a far away to teach us here in Britain to speak about the Dawah. So what is our job then? We are not doing anything. And I admit that you are doing enough. So anyhow, let me start with the citation of the Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم وما يلقاها إلا الذين صبروا وما يلقاها إلا ذو حظ عظيم. صدق الله العظيم. The procedure of tonight, I will hand you over to our brother Sheikh Ahmed to say about the format, the lecture, and to introduce our brother, though he doesn't need any introduction, but I will give him that responsibility. He is stronger than I. He knows all about it better than I. So please, brother Sheikh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of the World Islamic Propagation Establishment UK, it gives me the greatest of pleasure to introduce to you Sheikh Ahmed Deedat. Maybe the word introduce isn't quite the right word, because I'm sure you're all introduced to him, because Sheikh Deedat has been around for a long time and has many fans, of which, alhamdulillah, so many of us are here today. His topic for the day will be Dawah in the UK, telling us how to promote Islam in the best way, because the Quran instructs us that we must call all to the way of Allah with wisdom and beautiful preaching. Without much further ado, brothers and sisters, I give to you Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, who will speak to you for 1 hour, followed by questions and answers.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters, I read to you an ayah from the Holy Quran from Surah Fatah. Fatah means victory. The Holy Quran, an encyclopedia of this size, almost 2,000 pages. Where do you find Fatah? Out of 114 surahs, in 2,000 pages, where will you find Surah Fatah? Do you know the easy way to find it?
Index.
Index, yes. See, this particular volume by Abdullah Yusuf Ali has a very comprehensive index at the back. Under F, like a dictionary, look for Fatah, F-A-T-H, Fatah. And it will tell you chapter 48. 48 is easy to find because every page is numbered. And then I tell you ayah number 28. Once you found Surah Fatah, chapter 48, verse 28 is also easy to find because every verse is numbered. Once you have found it, what I would like to do, I recommend to all my brethren at all meetings, that when anybody gives you a reference from the Holy Quran, take the trouble of going and checking up at home. Not that you're doubting the speaker, that the speaker had any reason to bluff you, to deceive you. No, just to verify, see it with your own eyes, read it with your own heart and mind, and then look at the commentary. Now it will confirm what you have heard, and that part of that knowledge will become your own property. In other words, you have a fuller grasp. You heard it, now you see it, you read it, you think about it, and now you want to share it with people. So it becomes your own property. So in time, you will see that Allah will fill you up with knowledge that you too will be able to keep on sharing, and one day, inshallah, you too will be able to stand up before people and deliver talks, inspire people, inshallah. So in this ayah, Allah says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى. He it is, Allah who has sent his messenger with guidance, bil-huda, وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ, and the religion of truth, لِيُزْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ, that it may prevail, overcome and supersede every other deen, every other way of life. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا, and enough is Allah as a witness to this fact that He's going to make His deen to prevail with you or without you. It's a privilege Allah is giving you and me. Rotters that we are. What are we worth really in the sight of Allah? Nothing, rubbish. But He's given us this rubbish, He's given us that opportunity to do the works of the prophets of God, the messengers of Allah, and earn a prophet's reward. It's a privilege Allah is giving us. So now when we read this ayah, and Allah is promising us that this Deenul Islam is a deen that is to master, overcome, and supersede them all. Kulli, all. Whether it be Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianism, Communism, Judaism, every ism, Islam is destined to master them all. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. And Allah is a witness to this fact that He is going to make His deen to prevail. And I ask my audiences, do you believe that? Do you believe in it? If you don't, you're not a Muslim. Allah says He's going to make His deen to prevail over all things, bulldoze them all. Bulldoze them all. Whether it be Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, every ism, Islam is in a position to bulldoze them all. That's what he says. You believe it? Let's hear, let it be recorded. You believe it?
Yes, of course.
That's what everybody says. So I'm asking, is that why you sit on your backside doing nothing? No, if you had the laser gun, if you had it, you think we'll allow the Jews to beat our brethren, crush our little children, break their bones? You'll allow that? If you had the laser gun, would you allow that? We know we are helpless. We know the position in which we are. We are frustrated. We know we are helpless people, impotent people. We can understand. But if you had it, you say, stop it. No, stop it straight away. Otherwise, as Russia did in 1956, I don't know whether you remember, 1956, Britain, France, and Israel, in collusion, they attacked Egypt. And it was over. It was all over. Three in together, they attacked Egypt. And when we read the newspapers, this is finished. For Egypt, what can you do against Britain, France, and Israel? What can you do? Helpless, finished. Russia, for its own reasons, gives an ultimatum. Stop the war now, immediately, or I'm going to rocket bomb Paris and London. I don't know, you see, you people must be young, 56. Most of you are very young, 1956. Look at history. Russia, an atheist country, the enemies of Allah, they are threatening France and Britain. If you don't stop the war immediately, I'm going to rocket bomb London and Paris. Immediate, stop. America said, look, we don't want to get into this trouble. Please, stop it. So they stopped it. Because the guys knew that when Russia says, I'm going to rocket bomb, they can rocket bomb. We are not in such a position, so we can talk, but we know we can do nothing. But when Allah tells us that He's given you a deen, there's a master organ and supersede them all, bulldoze them all. No armaments are required. You don't need guns. You don't need Scud missiles. What you need? The knowledge Allah is giving you. Knowledge, intelligence, intellect. That's all, with the intellect. Because if you had the laser gun, if you had it, we would be disqualified. Because Allah says, La ikraha fid din. There is no compulsion in religion. Suppose we had that laser gun. We say, well, you Americans, if you don't become Muslims, we'll blot you out from the face of the earth. And suppose you could do it. Does Islam allow you that? No. We tell the Russians, all of you, if you don't become Muslims, we'll obliterate you. Can you do that? No. Why not? Allah says, La ikraha fid din. Then how are you going to do it? I say with the intellect. And the enemy seems to realize that. You see, we have to listen to the enemy. At one stage, they were talking about two powers, East and West. The communism and capitalism, East and the West. Now communism is out. And the whole world, the media, they're all focusing their attention on us. The Muslims, the terrorists, the fundamentalists, the reactionists. We are a backward people. We are looking for trouble. We want to kill people. We want to murder people. This is it. And the whole world is getting programmed. That one day, if they incinerate us, they say, well, the guys deserved it. Like the Jews in Germany and the Hitler. Hitler programmed the Germans that these are parasites, these are Christ killers, they killed our God, kill the Jews. And they say that they incinerated 6 million Jews. True or false, I'm not worried. The fact is, they say 6 million Jews were incinerated in the gas chambers. How did it happen? Programmed. People get programmed. Once you get programmed, this guy's a parasite. Looks like a terrorist. Everybody looks like a terrorist. Like I noticed this morning when I came into your Heathrow airport, right, everybody is walking away through the green line. Me too. My son as well. So the guy looks at my son with this kufia on. He sniffs something. He calls him. First time now. He calls him. You know why? Because he had this thing on. Says, who else is with you? Asking my son. Says, my father. Says, well, your father too. Okay. Says, father also got this on. Why? I'm thinking, why did he do that? You know why? I'm thinking, maybe I'm wrong. Because my son has got this, and our complexion shows we are from the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent, means they're peggy. He's a packy fellow. You see, packy fellow, he brings in a lot of drugs. No, maybe that's a reputation. This guy's also going with 2 trolley loads full. Maybe he's got something. Right? Who else is with you? So this guy also travel in gangs, you know. So my father said, your father too come. Of course, just a few words. He found out we are from South Africa. You see, immediately his attitude changed. He said, no. This is the Turf Blanche fellow, one of these extremist white guys. He was here a couple of days. So we searched through him, and he threatened. So that white guy, that Afrikaner, he threatened the custom fellow. He said, when you come to my country, I'll do the same to you Britishers. You see, that's his mentality. But however, you see, programming. We get programmed, and the whole world, the media is working. They know the dangers there. We are a danger to them. We are a danger to the way of life. We are not a danger to their lives and properties. But at every step, the Muslim is going to tell them, this is not right, sir. You know, eating the pig is not good. You know, drinking alcohol is not good. Dancing, promiscuousness is not good. So at every step, you are a challenge to the fellow, his way of life. And now, when a guy like Rushdie comes about, it makes them very happy. So now you see, one of your own now, doing it to you. Huh? You are boasting a lot, you know. So the guy is getting happy. You know, it satisfies him that, look, what to do with this guy? So now one of his own is doing it to him. So, the Westerner, he realizes our potency. I read a book, I have it, written by the Christian attacking Islam, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and the Holy Quran, by Dr. Pearson, an American. And this guy says something, you know, from the mouth of enemies, you can get gems. Enemies. If you recognize it, that the guy, what he's telling, he's in hatred. He's talking out of hatred, but there's some truth in what he says. And it's actually an asset, if you realize it and if you can make use of it. He says, people who worry, says, that the nuclear weaponry will fall into the hands of the Arabs one day. This is what the West is worried about. Maybe Libya, nearly Saddam supposed to have had it. The Western world is worried that one day these Arab fellows are going to get the nuclear bomb. So people who worry that nuclear weaponry will fall one day into the hands of the Arabs fail to realize that the Islamic bomb has been dropped already. It fell the day. Anybody can guess. What do you think he said? When did it fall, the Islamic bomb? When did it fall? Huh?
The Prophet was born.
He said, the day Muhammad was born. The day, that is the Islamic bomb. The Quran. Because without the Quran there is no Muhammad, and without Muhammad there is no Quran. So it goes together. The day Muhammad was born. Now when we analyze, man, there's a power here. In other words, his teachings, what he brought. There's an atom bomb, but we don't realize its potency. Another guy says, a Jewish medical man, writing a book on medicine, research on medicine, history of medicine, in which he gives some credit to the Muslims. At one stage, the Muslims were in the forefront of the sciences. So he describes the Muslims. He says, goat herds and camel drivers, these Arabs, goat herds and camel drivers, sitting on the throne of the Caesars, means rulers of Rome, Constantinople, East and West, half the known world. Right, now to him it's like he's trying to hurt you, he's sarcastic, but it's true. That what Allah did to these goat herds, people looking after sheep and goats, the Arabs, and camel drivers, Allah made them rulers, masters. They go and rule Spain for 800 years. Caesars, rulers, kings. So we are listening to the enemy. He said, now let us see what he says. He is an enemy, but now in his venom we might find something that we can utilize and inspire us. So we know that the Jews and the Christians, they have made up their minds. They know. Allah warned us 1400 years ago. He says, وَلَن تَرْضَى Ankal Yahudu walan Nasara hatta tattabi'a millatahum. That the Jews and the Christians will never be satisfied with you Muslims unless you follow their brand of religion. They know you are a danger. You are a challenge. Here's the book. The Challenge of Islam in South Africa. Who's the challenge? The Muslim. You are here a challenge. Your fathers came here because after the war, unemployment and the poverty in which we were living in India, Pakistan, and maybe the Arab countries, you came here, to sweep the streets, work in the railway, do all sorts of jobs for a living. And now you got about 500 masjids in the country. Do you know that? 500. You say this, the second largest religious group in Britain are the Muslims. There are more Muslims in Britain than Methodists. Did you know that? That's what they say. It's a challenge. And the guys are increasing in numbers. And they are a challenge to the way of life. And this beautiful masjid of ours, you can be proud of it, but they use our masjid. This masjid of ours, look at it. Our masjid. We didn't produce such beautiful pictures, did we? Look at it. The World Christian. The title is a Christian magazine called The World Christian, but you have our masjid on the cover. Beautiful. This masjid here, Regent's Park Mosque. No. Here. A Christian response to Islam. What's there in the cover? Your masjid. Regent's Park Mosque. See, they're terrified. They say, look what these guys are doing, man. These beggars, they come from all over the world. And look what they have done, with the help of the Arab oil. Here, another one here. Our Muslim neighbors, actually how to get at you. Our masjid. This Regent's Park Mosque. Now, they have learned the art. They are master psychologists. They learn the art. They know how to catch fish. See that when you come across that, you will pick it up. You can't help it, man. Your masjid there. One of the most beautiful masjids in Britain is on the cover, and so beautiful picture. Say, all right, whatever it is inside, let's take it home. You're going to read it. They know psychology. They know this fish, what you will bite. So they're using the right bait, trying to catch fish. Look at this. You recognize something? Looks like all Quranic ayahs. Islamic calligraphy. We didn't go for human figure, animal figures. In our artistry, we didn't go for that. We went in for calligraphy. So they give you calligraphy. If it's given to you or your children, you take it home and put it on the wall. Am I right? Yes. No. Let's be honest, man. I will do it myself. I'm telling you. But you know what is this? This is Christianity. Say, catch a fish. They know this fish will bite. You give it to the Muslim children, Jazakallah, Jazakallah. You'll take it home and tell daddy, mommy, everybody will be happy. He says, put it on the wall. My child, put it on the wall. He says, Abbana. He says, Abbana. He says, Abbana. So what do you think? Abbana. You think, oh, maybe it's Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban. That's what you're thinking. That's how we read. We don't actually see and read. Do you know that? It's the mind reads it. You just see, yes, you know what it is. But when you have a second look, it says, no, it's not what you were thinking. It happens again and again. This is Abbana, is our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. In Arabic. Caught your fish. See, they know they have the art. Psychology. They're using psychology to catch us. Then, look at this here. Al-Kitab. Al-Kitab. If they're giving the streets, won't you pick it up? Outside the masjid here, after Jummah, won't you rush for it? Somebody's giving these kitabs away. What will you do? Not rush for it? Yes. What is this? This is the Bible course. You think ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ? Nothing to do with that. They caught you fish. We must say Subhanallah. You see? Look at this. What do they say? Huh? Huh? First time when I saw it, I read Allah Muhammad. That's what it looks like. See, the calligraphy is Allah Muhammad. An Arab sheikh made a mistake. I showed him. I said, look at this, Ya Sheikh. It's Allah Muhammad. I said, have another look, Ya Sheikh. It's Allah Muhammad. I said, Ya Akhi, have another good look. Then it's Allah Muhabba. An Arab sheikh took him 3 efforts to get the thing right. What about my Bangladeshi brothers, and my Pakistani brothers, and my Nigerian brothers? No. And maybe some Arab brothers too. Huh? Look, don't claim that you are, all our people are very educated, you can. No. And behind it, 2-year calendar, free. You beggars, wouldn't you like to have it? Huh? This is, all this beautiful things, all these beautiful stickers, it's all intended for you. All intended for you. Catching fish. And I can keep on showing you. Ooh. There's a group of Christians, they call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses. You must have heard them. Unless you're living in an ivory tower where nobody can get to you. Jehovah's Witnesses, they have a magazine called The Watchtower. You see here it says 13 million a month. You're hearing all right? I said 13 million copies, not of the sheet, of the magazine. 13 million a month. They publish this. Another magazine called Awake, same people. 10 million and so many thousand a month. Magazines, not papers like this. That little group of people, they published 84 million copies of this one book in 95 languages, including Arabic and our Urdu and in Zulu. 95 languages, 84 million copies in 95 languages. And this book is not a booklet, it's a 192 pages. Can we compete with them? No, it's not possible. It's not possible. With all our oil wealth and 1,000 million in the world, we know we can't compete. With this little group, we can't compete. Let's be honest. No use blaming, say well, this guy should do that and that guy should do that and that fellow should. We are always looking for the scapegoat. Maybe genuine, maybe to get rid of our frustrations, we have to pass the buck on to somebody. Because of that guy, we are in this position. Because of that fellow, we are in this position. But the fact is, no man who is in power, we are 1,000 million. They are boasting. I'm going to Nigeria tomorrow, by the way. I wrote this book a few years ago, 1976, in the Watchtower magazine. They're telling us here that the biggest number of Jehovah's Witnesses outside the United States, it started in America, this movement, about 100 years ago. Now they start all over the world. They're working, they did one book in 95 different languages. Now, they are boasting that the largest number of Jehovah's Witnesses outside the United States is the Muslim country of Nigeria. Why should they lie? They say we have 112, at 1976, 112,000 active workers in Nigeria. The whole Muslim world put together, I don't know, I don't think if you can get 1,000, 2,000 da'is, propagators. I don't think so. These are the da'is, active workers. 112,000 active workers in Nigeria alone. Can we compete with them? Not likely. See, you feel now, now let's find a scapegoat. Who's responsible for all this? So you say the Maulvi Sahib is that, and the Sheikh is like that, and the rulers are like this. Very, very easy. We can pass the buck. Look, find a scapegoat and relax. You know, until that guy comes right, there's nothing we can do. Unless that guy comes right, nothing we can do. This is the sickness we have got. And I can tell you that we, you and I, we can do things which all those billions of our petrodollars can't do, you and I can do. I'll show you just now how you and I can do things which I tell you the whole Muslim world put together can't do. This is a little group that's gathered here tonight. What you and I can do, I'll show you. There's so many here, but now let me show you something big. The Christians are giving out this beautiful book, No Greater Love. Everybody wants to read about love and romance. No? Huh? Even old people like me. I can tell you that I have no interest anymore in this subject. I'm lying to you. You know, if I get a book like this, Love and Romance, I say, right, let's see. This is man, any man. That's how Allah made us. Right? So they send this to you by post. They get your addresses. They send it to you. Very happy. You open the book. You know what's inside? What's inside? Bible. The Holy Bible. Bible! They've got you. You go to Hong Kong, they give you this. Good news for visitors. So you think, yeah, about the geisha girls and massage parlors and what not. Let's see what I can see in Hong Kong, right? Huh? Good news for visitors. Look at the beauty. Hong Kong. What's inside? Holy Bible. Bible. In Chinese and in English. Caught you, fish again. Now the latest. You know, last time when I came, there was no place here. You know why? Last meeting that I had here, there was no place. You know that? This was chock-a-block. You know why? Huh? What was the subject? Mother of all? No, what was it? Mother of all injustice. Right! It tickled off straight away. Right! It'll be about something about Saddam and something about the Saudis. Shh! Chock-a-block. And I was sweating like hell. Not because of you all, but it was hot in here. And the ladies were packed up in both those halls and that side there, and there was no place anywhere. It's a topical subject. Just before leaving, a court case took place in Durban. Somebody was charged for fraud. And the judge, when he passes judgment, he says, mother of all frauds. Fraud. You just can't help it, man. You keep on picking up something that is in current. You want to use it again and again and again. Saddam made it famous. Actually, it's in the Quran. See? Qura, mother of all cities. Makkah Mukarramah. That's Qura. It's in the Quran. So that guy used it for mother of all battles, and then mother of all fiascos, and mother of all everything, and mother of all injustices, and mother of all frauds. Shh, it's got currency now. So Desert Storm has acquired currency. Desert Storm. Won't you like to read it? What is it all about? You know in your heart and mind what it will be about. About the Gulf War. You know, Saddam's Scud missiles and the anti-Patriot missiles of the Americans. You know how they counteracted these Scuds and how they got Saddam out of Kuwait, how they got the 500,000 soldiers there in the desert. Yeah, what else you expect to read? And you want to know, don't you want to know? Yes. And free, won't you take it with a kiss? Huh? And the American stamp of the American Army, Navy, Air Force, Army, Navy, Air Force, with the camouflage uniform of the American soldier. Bakshish, bakshish, bakshish. Huh? Would you like to have it, Yasha? You open it, the Good News Bible. They got you again. They got you again. Look, there are masters. Wallah, they are masters. They are masters at the game. They are master psychologists. They are in the field. You see, they can make all these discoveries because they are in the field. All these new venues, any opportunity, nothing goes by. This fish will bite this now, right? This is current news, buy. This is the current bait. He'll take this as a bite. Catch, catch, catch. Islam unveiled. The true Desert Storm. See? Here's another book, just come out from America. What does it say? This is the true Desert Storm. And you read inside, it makes your heart bleed. It hurts you. I don't want to repeat it. Rushdie is nothing compared to this pig. Rushdie is nothing. You want me to make this guy famous? You want to make him famous? Do you want to make him famous? No. Very easy. We march tomorrow, you know, and we can rouse people tomorrow. Yawmul Jummah, I'll give you the quotation from here and rouse the people here in the masjid. They say we're going to march on to Parliament House. and 10,000 will march. Yes, yes, because if I read to you what the guys, the Khabis, the swine, what he says about our Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I don't repeat those words. It'll move you, moves anybody. It's right. And the answer is to come onto the American embassy. See, this is an American, came from America. The American has published this. Let's march. And do you know it's easier to march? I'm not belittling for what you have done in the past. But 10,000 people, it's easier for 10,000 people to march. It's easier because mass psychology, mass hysteria. If you are in it, you worked up. You are prepared to die because 10,000 are going to die. You see, you're not alone. But you individually, one by one, I said, look, brother, are you prepared to do something? He said, yes. You want to protest? He said, yes. So I'll show you how to protest. But I want you. I don't want 10,000. I want you individually. Can you stand in a street corner with a smile on your face? Can you smile? With a smile on your face? No, man. A contrived smile. You're not smiling inside. But now, come on, man. Force yourself. Smile. And can you say Happy Christmas and give it to people? Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Can you do that?
Yes.
No. Alhamdulillah. That takes greater courage. You stand alone in the street corners, Piccadilly Square, Oxford Circus, around there, half a dozen people with 1,000 each. Everybody passing, good morning, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. That takes more courage, it takes more manliness in you than 10,000 of us we're going to march on to Parliament House. Now you tell me now if I'm wrong. I want you to correct me. Alone, you stand there with a smile in your face. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Now I want to teach you that. Look, we can't fight. The way if you're going to march 10,000, they're going to make another mockery of us. So it is the goats are out again. Ready for another slaughter. Right? And everybody says, hey, these guys, we know they're troublemakers. They are these reactionaries. They are the fundamentalists. These are the terrorists. We innocent people, harmless people, marching with Allahu Akbar, and now it terrifies the 60 million Britishers. He says, now these guys are all troublemakers. I said, no, you don't do that. Desert Storm. I said, right. Here's a book. You got it. Everybody got it. If you haven't got it, you must get it before you go. Desert Storm. We are only saying, adding to that, the Christian Desert Storm, has it ended? That's our words. Desert Storm, I copied it from here. The uniform, I got it from here. The title, I got it from here. I'm only learning from the enemy. That's all. No, this is, you can't go and invent all these ideas. Wallah, all this what I'm doing, if you say, Mr. Deedat is very good, this is very good, where did you get this idea? I said, I got it from the enemy. No, really. Because I'm studying that fellow. I said, look, I don't have to start, say, inventing the wheel from scratch. That guy has invented the wheel and the, what you call jet planes and all that. Let me buy from him, let me copy from him and get on from there. I want to start inventing from scratch. I'm a fool because I'll never be able to catch up with him and the whole Muslim world. We can't catch up with the guy. Do you know that? In technology, we can never catch up with the American or the British or the French. Look, admit it. Because as soon as we reach where they have reached, they'll be miles ahead of us again. We can't catch up with the fellow. The only way, what we can do is to conquer him, make him our own, make him our slave, and that you can do intellectually. With the gun, like Rafiddin, even if you had it. So do it with the intellect, man. Learn to use your intellect. It's harder. A Greek philosopher, he said, if you want to make a man to hate you, make him think. Make him think. Create a problem for him. Make him think. He'll hate you. Make him think. Otherwise, we are like sheep and goats. We can follow. Come on, march. He says, march. You don't have to think. March. Now, you stand there. You're thinking. How will the guy react? You know, he might come and question me. He might want to fist fight with me. What? That takes some doing. So we said, now they have done this. They have thrown a big stone at us, giving it to the Muslims. In Pakistan, in the Arab countries, in Africa. Desert storm. and people are grabbing it. I said, right, same idea, desert storm. Has it ended? But we're not as deceitful as they are. They are deceiving people. Because inside their Bibles, we put down here, Christ in Islam by Ahmed Deedat. It's there. I know the guy hasn't got time to read. That's not my funeral. See, when you give, good morning, madam. Good morning, sir. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Say, thank you. Thank you. Wallah. You say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. He's got no time to read Christ in Islam by Ahmed Deedat. Nobody has got the time to read that. No, I'm telling you. But he'll thank you profusely. It's desert storm. They will know something about desert storm. Right? He or she goes home and starts. On the cover, we tell you what the whole story is about. Not just deceiving people, no. We explain to you what is the connection between desert storm and this book. This book is about Christ in Islam. That's the original title. But in a new uniform, I know there are things that they have done, old books, very good books. The sales fell. They gave a new title and they sell again, top seller, bestseller. Just a title, change the title, bestseller. So right, we had Christ in Islam, maybe Islam, something, you know, the guy want to catch us fish. So, no, okay, now he would prefer to have desert storms, right? Desert storm, has it ended? Everybody will take it from you with gratitude, wallah. Muslim, non-Muslim, Jew, Christian, Hindu, anybody, everybody you give, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let them take it home. And we explain now, what is the connection? What is the connection between this book and desert storm? They do nothing of the kind. They deceived you. They got the Bible into the house. Now we tell you here. Once more, you can read it inside the front cover. Front cover. Open all the front cover. Front cover, the first item there. Front cover, the first item. Once more, you got it? Once more, the plans of a dictator have been dashed. Dashed in the desert sand with the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives. Desert storm will be remembered by those involved for years to come. But it is not the first desert storm. A storm has been raging in the desert for more than 2,000 years over a man called Jesus, peace be upon him, and his mission. Disputes concerning the nature of Christ have deluged the earth with the blood of millions of people since his birth, Matthew 2:16. What then is the Muslim standpoint regarding the personality of the Prince of Peace, Jesus? Read on. Right. You don't want to read, tear it and throw it away, that's his business. You want to burn it? Okay. We have done the job. We got the thing into his hand, and we got it into his house, and we made him to read. He doesn't want to read any further, not our funeral. That's his funeral, her funeral. Now, my dear brothers, are you prepared to do this job? I want to know now. She says, very nice, I'm entertaining you people. I know people get entertained. Every time I speak, they get entertained. They love to listen to me. Even if I talk nonsense, you'll enjoy it, I know that. So now, I said, I want you to tell me, I'm glad there's not thousands here, fewer people. And I can see almost everybody is young people, soldiers. And future lies in your hands. Not old people like me. We are all right, we are on the way out. Sheikh Zahran and Ahmed Deedat are on the way out. You are the soldiers of Islam. Have you got the guts? I want to know. You got the guts to go and give this to the people in the streets. I have printed 500,000 copies.
Yes. Sure, yes, yes, of course.
Put up your hand, please.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Inshallah. With a smile. You must smile. It's harder. You know, when you can smile, you see, when you got the laser gun, somebody wants to pick up a fight with you. I'm a black belt karate expert. And another old guy comes along, wants to put up with me. I'll be smiling all the time. You know that? Even you young guys. Even you young fellows. Because I have done certain things. I have done boxing, wrestling, judo. Right. So you come along. If you're not a trained man, if you're trained, it's different. But if you're not a trained person, you are young, strong and all that, but I know I'll have the better of you. So I'll just smile. You'll be terrified. You say, this old man is not getting frightened, man. He's smiling. Maybe he's got a 6-shooter. No 6-shooter, nothing. I know the back of the mind, if you are an ordinary person, I know what I can do to you. You see, you can't get the better. If you give me one, I'll give you 2. Huh? So I know, so I'll smile at you. Yes, yes, my son. Yeah. You say, what's wrong with this old man? Is he mad? No, he's not mad. He knows. Similarly, you know there's something behind you. Haqq. And this is not offensive. We are not looking for trouble. We are not brawlers looking for trouble. We just want to do our master's job. We want to educate the people. Right. I printed 500,000. The original idea was 500,000 in the streets of New York, in the city of New York. This was the exercise. And I went to Saudi Arabia, and I wanted the young men to volunteer. I said, I don't want your money. I want you, not with this Arab garb, in incognito, with your T-shirts and your blue denim. Come to New York at your own expense and put up in a hotel at your own expense. I will tell you when to come, and for every one Saudi, I'll give you 4 Afro-American brothers. Go on, start in the street corners, and Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Can you do it? Yes. No, they said yes. I said, right. That I'll take them to America. I had no sense in bringing them here. I've got so many of my soldiers here. I want to organize this. Yes. Inshallah, I want to organize this through WIPE. I want to come myself. When we do that, the books are already here. These are the samples. If you want to change your mind, read it at home and you think, no, this is too dangerous. Okay, you can back out. But inshallah, you'll find, you'll enjoy it. So look, man, let's deliver the message. What is Jesus Christ in the house of Islam? He is not God. And it answers so many of your problems. At question time, if something comes along, I'll show you how this book answers it. So this was the main mission, that we want to give this out. Then I say, I want 5 million books of this. In every city in Britain. Then we get volunteers. In Bradford, say, can you give 500,000 men, or 100,000? 100,000 in Birmingham? Come on, man. Another 1 million here in London, a city of 10 million people. Can't we give out 1 million copies? Blitzkrieg. You know what Hitler did? Blitzkrieg. So invasion, mass attack. This is like the little pebble that Hazrat Dawud al-Islam picked up. That guy is throwing a big stone. It's costly businesses. This is also costly, but it costs us a fraction of that. Right? It costs us a fraction of that. And these are the little pebbles which can crack the skull of the Jalut, the Goliath. Jalut with the Goliath. You see, we can't fight him. We know we haven't got the laser gun. We haven't got the Scud missiles. Let's not, wish for that. We got this little pebble. What Dawud al-Islam had, what did he have? Do you know the story? وَقَتَلَ دَاوُدُ جَالُوتَ وَآتَاهُ اللَّهُ الْمُلْكَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَعَلَّمَهُ مِمَّا يَشَاءُ. There was a conflict between the Palestinians and the Jews going on for 3,000 years. At one stage in that conflict, the Palestinians had Goliath, Jalut, an 8-foot giant in their midst. And when you have an 8-foot giant, like Primo Canera or somebody, you feel proud, you're okay now, man. Anybody comes along, this big brother will do the job. See? So the Palestinians are on one hill, and the Jews on the opposite hill. And this Jalut is shouting, say, hey, you Jews! Is there anybody there who will take me on? I'll chew you alive. And while he's shouting, he's tottering. He's abnormal. 8-foot giant is not normal. On rough ground, and you're swaying, and says, hey, you Jews, I'll kill you, I'll do this. Generally, we're doing like that all the time. So this Jalut is doing that. And the Jews were shivering in their pants. I don't know whether they used to wear pants those days. But metaphorically, they were shivering in their pants. Nobody prepared to take them on. And they know, if this guy gets them, he can crush them, just like that. And there is little Dawud al-Salam. He was no prophet then. He was a shepherd boy. He's looking after his father's sheep. And he sees this giant tottering. Yo, Jews! And he says, man, that guy is a clumsy fellow. Clumsy, slovenly. He is a sitting target, sitting duck. You can shoot him if you had a 6-shooter. Duck! Easy to get him, man. So he comes to Talut, Saul, the commander, the Jewish commander, and says, look, sir, I will take that guy on. So what? You? Go and look after your father's sheep. Go and look after your father's sheep. We, veterans of so many wars, we can't take him on. We are terrified of him. And you want to fight him? He says, sir, you don't understand. Please, man, give me a break. I tell you what I can do to that fellow. His enthusiasm is so overpowering that Talut says, okay, you want to commit suicide? Here's my sword and my shield. So little Dawud says, sir, I don't know how to use this. I never used it in my life. And maybe it's too heavy for him, the sword. He's still a shepherd boy. I'm going to fight him with my sling. Sling. You know, they didn't have the rubber those days. So the sling was a small pouch with 2 strings. You see some pictures about our Palestinian children, you know, using that type of thing, with a pouch and 2 strings. You put a stone in the pouch and you swing, gaining momentum, and at the right moment you let one side go, and the missile, the stone, flies. He has been used to killing rabbits with that, killing birds with that. He's a marksman, good marksman with that. So he said, I will fight him with my sling. Big joke. With a toy? You want to kill a giant with a toy? He said, sir, please, you don't understand. You know what I can do with this? All right, he says, man, you want to commit suicide? Go. Maro, get a maro. Die. So he walks down the hill, and the others are watching. That little fellow coming down the hill now. He's alone. What has he got? Nothing. He seems to have got some string in his hand. And he, at the bottom of the valley, in the stream there, he bends down and picks up a few stones. They're watching, fun. Say, what is what is? And it's coming up. It's coming up. Can you imagine? Sir? What a bloody joke, man. We are the Dawud, I'm telling you. You are the Dawud. So we forget that. He's coming up. And he comes to the right distance he knows. He stands. And he puts a stone and he starts swinging. They're laughing. The Palestinians are laughing. Look at him. And at the right moment, he lets go. He has been a good marksman. He had plenty of practice. So he strikes Jalut on the forehead, cracks his skull. The guy falls. Little Dawud rushes up, takes his own sword and chops off his head. So Allah says, وَقَتَلَ دَاوُدُ جَالُوتَ, and Dawud killed Jalut. وَآتَاهُ اللَّهُ الْمُلْكَ, and Allah gave him dominion, وَالْحِكْمَةَ, and wisdom, وَعَلَّمُهُ مِمَّا يَشَاءُ, and whatever else he willed. Little Dawud killed Jalut. You are, each and every one of us are those Dawuds. This is that pebble. You start with this. The next move will be 1 million for London. But try with 100,000. We'll plan a strategy. We'll let you know on the mosque board. Please, my brothers, please. You know, come on. Let's go about half a dozen in each of those squares, what you call circus. You know, Piccadilly Circus and Oxford Circus and whatever circus and, you know, Regent's Park or whatever, whatnot. You know, all right. One Saturday morning. Saturday morning up to 1 o'clock, man, give, man, give, man, give. Next day in Hyde Park, give. And if there's any balance left, leave it over. Right, but finish them up. Blitzkrieg. Then we come back again, so we have done the exercise. I did it in America, I'm going to do that. Did it here? I said, right now, we want to cover the whole of Britain. I won't take you. Everywhere. Get the people involved. You again in London. Then I want to teach you people a survival course. These Christians are coming and making mess out of us. Survival course. And you know how long that course is? 1 sitting. At the most 3 hours. Start at 10 in the morning, 1 o'clock finish. A survival course. I'll give you people a survival. How to fight the missionary. How you can slaughter him. The kung fu. The kung fu of comparative religion. I haven't done it yet. Reason? Because it's a bit too sensitive. When I talk to the general public, I have to speak nice, beautiful, sweet, flowery words. There I need men. Who are not bashful men who get, you know, when I say, so use some word, you know, your ear goes red. No, you're not the right guy for that. Somebody with stamina. Right. Only thing I'm going to do is, you'll notice what I do to you. Our Scud missile will be the Bible. This is the Scud. I'm telling you, use the Scud. This is the enemy's Scud. Use this Scud against him. There is no better way to fight the enemy than with his own weapons. Our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Al-Hirbu khit'un. It's a war is strategy, and strategy demands that you use the weapons of your enemy. Just this. And this is the primer for that bomb. This is the primer. I just finished writing it. I'll have to publish this by tens of thousands. Printed. It's not printed yet. It's just typed. This is actually the primer to prime that Scud. How to use that Scud against a Christian. 3 hours time. I set you on the road, then you become your own. You have that AK-47 or that, how to shoot that Scud missiles. Man, then you'll be itching for Christians to come to your house. This is not for ordinary Christians. They are your friends. your fellow workers, your boss, your employer, talk to them nicely. I'll show you how to talk to them. Christ and Islam, talk about that. What the Bible says about Muhammad, talk about that. Muhammad, the natural successor to Christ, talk about that. Muhammad, the greatest, talk about that. This is special. It will be out of bound for the ladies, not for the ladies. Only for men, and I prefer young men under 30, but everybody says he's young, so I can't help it. If Sheikh Zahran says, you know, I'm young in spirit, I can't refuse, but I would prefer, 30 years and under. People who have the guts and stamina to do the job. So that will be the next move, inshallah. This is, don't look at this. This is that little stone Dawah al-Islam picked up. That's a little stone Dawah al-Islam picked up. Go and crack the skull of the Jalut, and pleasantly, man. Nobody will hurt you. Wallah, nobody will hurt you. Nobody will touch you. Nobody will punch you. With that, nobody will. There's a smile on your face. Good morning, madam. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Deedat, for a very stimulating lecture. And I'm sure it's woken up all of us Muslims to know that we have a big responsibility on our shoulders, which Sheikh Deedat has enlightened for us. Now is a chance for you to put questions to Sheikh Deedat. Please make a queue at this microphone here, and there's a few brief rules that we will follow. Questions will only relate to the topic, please. As you can see, Sheikh Deedat is quite old now, although he says he's very fit, but I know he's been traveling, he's tired. So please limit your questions to the title of the topic only. Ask one question at a time. If you have more than one question, ask your first question and go back to the end of the queue. Please, can we have the first question? If the ladies have any questions, they're welcome to write them down and pass them through. Can we have the gents form the queue before we start questions, please? Okay, brother.
Brother Ahmed Deedat, Assalamu alaikum.
Is the mic working?
Yes.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to ask you about the situation in Bosnia. How is the situation among the Islam? This is my question.
Brother, I must confess, I'm also wanting somebody to explain to me the Serbians, the Bosnians, and the Yugoslavians, what is involved there. Wallah, I myself, I haven't got a clear picture of what is happening there. Who's fighting who? We keep on reading about the Muslims there, but which part are Muslims and the Croats and what? I have no real knowledge. I'll be just guessing, shooting, and I'll make a fool of myself. This is not my speciality. We all should know, but I have got no knowledge on the problem that you have asked.
I would like to tell you that there are many Christians who know about Islam. They know that the Quran is the last revelation. They know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last prophet. They know that Islam is the truth. Yet, they don't want to admit it. They don't want to believe it. Can you tell us, please, what are the reasons that which makes them be far from reading Islam and knowing it better? Jazakumullah khair.
The brother wants to know, you see, there are people, they say that Islam is a good religion. The Prophet ﷺ was a good man, sincere man. The Quran is a fantastic book. Islam's teachings are very good, very helpful. And yet they will not accept Islam. What could be the reason? You see, it's a matter of programming, brainwashing. The Christian and the Jew, they're both programmed. They are programmed to think that they're going to go to heaven. The Jews, God chose them. They are a chosen people, and as such, they are the children of God. All these others are like God's stepchildren. So now my son is a rotter. My son is a rotter. You are a saint. But who will get my inheritance? My son, not you. I like you. Very good boy. Pray 5 times a day. Tahajjud guzar. He's a perfect Muslim. But who will get my inheritance? The rotter son of mine. Am I right? He's my son, my flesh and blood. He's going to get my inheritance. So similarly, the Jews are thinking they are the children of God. And as such, now mind what rotters they are. But they will go to heaven. The Christian, also the same. They are programmed that now mind how beastly they are. They're going to go to heaven. And Allah tells us that in the Holy Quran. So, وَقَالُوا, and they say, لَنْ يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارًا. That you Muslims will never, never enter Jannah. There's no heaven for you unless you become a Jew or unless you become a Christian. That's programming. Once you are programmed, the guy admits you are a good person, your way of life is good, everything, but you haven't got salvation. There's no heaven for you. So this is the problem. Now you have to find out, you have to deal with that sickness, which we are not dealing. So on the face of it, I'm telling you, man, we say don't touch alcohol. Look at your father is a drunkard, your brother-in-law is a drunkard, and your son-in-law is a drunkard. Look at the misery all around. Say, yeah, it's true. But you got no salvation. There's no heaven for you. Right? So that gives him satisfaction. Now how to deal with that? You know, that is a different type of brainwashing. That guy is brainwashed, you have to reprogram him. He's programmed, you have to reprogram him. Now you need the right material for that, and you need patience and perseverance for that. It's not like one sitting, I make the guy speechless. You know, I made rings around him, and I'm satisfied, I'm happy. You know, Christian fellow came, and I silenced him. That's not it, man. It doesn't should. Anytime any Christian comes to your door, make him welcome. Sit down. What's your name, please? Your address? Your telephone number? He doesn't want to? Says, gone, footsack, get out. You're bloody rubbish. You want to come into my house? You want to enjoy my hospitality, and you don't want to give me your name, your address? I don't want to know you. Get out. Push him out. Once you have got his name and address and his telephone number, now talk. And you might have made a crack in his egg.